when Vincent Bevins, the author of the Jakarta Method, tweeted a performance of it by Bedjo Untung, who is an internationally decorated human rights advocate and the founder of the Murdered Victims Foundation, 1965 Murdered Victims Foundation. And in the video, he explains that the tune is written by Mohammad Arief in 1941, when Indonesia was still the Dutch East Indies. And it was written to promote the use of a wild growing kind of spinach lettucey thing called Gendjer. And probably as part of the promotional efforts, two well-known recordings by two well-known Indonesian artists of Gendjer-Genjer were made, and they're boleros. And when you hear the melody, you'll hear that they're Latin American boleros. And when you hear the melody, you'll hear that it fits right into a bolero. I don't know why, I haven't figured it out yet. So anyway, currently there are many different versions of the song. There are pastoral versions, there are hard rock versions, there are just arty kind of versions. But there's one, and so I began to investigate this because the story was so compelling of the song. And there was one that was completely different than all the others. And it's a gamelan style presentation. And as it turns out, it was Mohammad Arief, in addition to writing the song, he also established village gamelan in the Banyuwangi province of Java, right across from Bali. And he established these village gamelan in what people call a congregational style. In other words, not dissimilar to this band. You don't have to be a virtuoso or well-educated musician in order to participate. So a recording was made in 1962. This is 20 years after Mohammad Arief wrote the tune and started establishing these things. And it was, so the Suharto regime was fiercely nationalist after having suffered under the Dutch and the Japanese. And then after World War II, European countries wanted their colonies back. So they had to get rid of the Japanese, and they finally got rid of the Dutch again. And this fiercely nationalistic regime had a cultural thing, I forget what it's called. And these officials were on their way to Bali for a cultural convention, and they ran across, they stopped in a village, and they heard the Genjer-Genjer in the style that we are going to play it in. And they were so moved by the perfect articulation of a nationalist and also a populist, and also the song, because everybody knew the song, and they were very excited about that, and they even proclaimed that it might be the next national anthem for Indonesia. Months later, all of it was swept away by the new order. Mohammad Arief was jailed and disappeared. Bedjo Untung was incarcerated for 9 years, and an archival recording of the style that Mohammad Arief established in these rural areas had been archived by the state-owned recording studio Lokananta in Indonesia, which still exists. It means Gamalan from heaven. But it was assumed that that archival recording had been destroyed. Only a year or two ago, there was an investigative report on Indonesian TV, and there was also a documentary of Lokananta. And one of the Lokananta employees had surreptitiously removed the master recording and the first pressing of Genjer-Genjer in that style, which documented the rural style, and it's celebrated, which accounts for all the different Genjer-Genjer recordings that you can hear on YouTube. And so I just want to so I'm going to put all this stuff on our Facebook page in case you want to chase down the links to hearing recordings that I'm referring to, in which we're going to, I made a transcription of it. I will warn you though that on your program it's spelled Gendjer with a D. Most of the time it's spelled without the D. And that's because on that documentary recording, which people are so excited about, it's resurfacing, they spelled it with the D, and that's why I used that in the title. So, here we go. And by the way, this introductory part, I just got off the recording and I have no idea what's going on. So we just copied it as closely as possible.
Me, and I'm going to watch you. Okay?
Thank you very much. That's pretty good. On the record, they do it twice, but you know. All right.